I go from like, driving my CRX, which is like all stock, to like this car. I just appreciate it even more so, man. It's amazing, so. Type R right there.
Wow. Look, as you were doing the pool, I'm thinking 1998.
Yes. Yeah.
To have that type of pool, that Vita crossover.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, it's amazing. Like, and this car just took it like nothing. It's just such a nice driver because it's in pristine condition.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Automotive Anatomy. Today we have Marlo. Thank you so much for making the time out. Wow, do we have a gem, to say the least? To say the least, man. This is Anyways, before I start fanboying, tell us, what do you drive today?
98 Acura Integra Type R. 980786 is the number of this car.
Hey, just because you say random numbers doesn't mean it's actually a Type R, you know?
Yeah.
I can say that about my Acura, bro. It's a 2625 Acura Euro R, and that doesn't mean anything because it doesn't exist. Wow, but this is an actual ITR.
ITR, yep.
Oh, that's so
US
cool, man.
ITR, yep.
That's amazing.
Yep.
All right, well, before we start talking about the history on this beautiful car, tell us about yourself. Like, when do you remember thinking I like cars? How early, in your life was that the hobby that you decided to pursue?
Sure. First, let me thank you for having me over here. It's an honor. Obviously, this car, I've had this since 2000.
Okay.
25 years of ownership now. It's a long journey of like building the car and like collecting parts and stuff like that at the right time, right? Like, I probably won't be able, I probably wouldn't be able to build this car now at these prices, but I was lucky enough to be, in a way, older than most other people that are still building this car. So I've been able to, like, at least share it with everybody. So now I'm out and kind of, showing like this car to, because it's a time capsule.
It is a time capsule, and you are right. There is I don't know. Don't let anybody tell you that being older is a bad thing. It's actually a great thing. It gives you wisdom, and people from the 90s and 80s are aging like fine wine. So obviously, back in high school, you got into Honda specifically, or was it something else?
Hondas. Okay. It's always been like kind of was into always the Honda scene. Back in like high school days, I remember like I was working at a local donut shop, and then I would see this like 191 black Honda Civic SI, and it had like lowered on some, Sparco RR wheels, black on yellow wheels, and every time it drove by, I was like, I want one of those cars, right? So I loved like the Hondas that whole time, and I said I'll build one with the newer generation, which was at that time was the EG. So I was like, oh, okay.
I love how that was a new generation.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
it did look very different, right? Because they went from that boxy kind of look to more of an egg, which a lot of people did not like.
Did not like in the beginning, but then when you see like somebody that had it like lowered on some just stock, hubcaps at that time,
came over.
Oh my God, it was nice, right? Yes, so I fell in love obviously with the EGs back in the day, and then ended up with this. And I still have an EG. So
wait, so what was your first car?
First car was a 92 SI, black SI.
Oh wow. That's a nice car.
It was, it is. It was like a nice car back in the day, and I enjoyed it. I put like a GSR motor in there back in the day. And I had like Mugen parts as well. Okay. And so I kind of wish I would have kept those parts, but I sold that car as is, and now my buddy owned it for quite a while. So
well, you don't realize how rare or how scarce and how much people would still be liking it 2025. You don't think about that.
Absolutely. And I think that's why I'm out here more now. A lot of people like that have been in this car industry or like car culture. They haven't seen me, or they haven't seen me in a while. That's what they tell me. It's like, hey, I thought I know all the Type R's here in SoCal, but like I kind of stayed in my bubble in like Santa Clarita, man. Part of it too is like during those days, it's like a lot of like Type R's were getting stolen.
Yep.
So I kept this car in the garage.
Smart.
47,000 miles when I bought it in 2000.
Shit.
It's got 63,000 miles now.
Jeez,
It's
bro.
probably majority of the miles that I put in.
Just like
Yeah, I mean, majority of the miles I probably put in like within the last like 2 years, just going to a bunch of cars and coffee. Because I've been out and about now, you know, so kind of sharing this car.
Now look, this is the thing. I'm one of those people that I believe that cars need to be driven.
Yes.
But I can appreciate a car that has such low mileage, especially an iconic car like the ITR. So I kind of go back and forth, you know, I'm kind of being a hypocrite here.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, like, the car needs to be driven, but it's so nice to say, hey, 67,000 miles on this chassis.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think the car could be in a better ownership, you know?
Oh, thank you. So appreciate it.
Really, because how many cars ITRs are not? They were just trash. People don't appreciate them.
Correct.
So.
Yeah.
So part of the journey for me is obviously drinking coffee in the morning, getting to know somebody and their story. But I'm also being able to experience brand new cars, and that's something that, yes, the K swaps pushing 3,000 horsepower all-wheel drives, they're cool. They're amazing. But to be able to enjoy new cars, it's very rare, and it's something that most people are never going to be able to experience. And but I mean new cars, 90s golden Honda era.
Yeah.
So practically that's what I'm in today.
Yeah.
Thank you for this opportunity.
No, thank you.
Because sorry. The likelihood of me coming across another 67K original ITR,
63K.
63, see even that. Sorry, 63. It's killing you. You're like, no, 63.
No, it's good. It's good.
You know, it's crazy. It's just amazing. Drives new. There's no weird sounds.
No, it's quiet.
It's quiet.
That's one of the things that surprises me about the Mugen, like exhaust system, full exhaust system. It's quiet. It's not like you know, you could talk and have a conversation. This thing is just drives like a beauty.
It's a 2.5 piping?
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's like the engineers of like Mugen as well. It's like they've done it like in perfection, like kind of. You know what I mean? It's like you're just like, wow, how'd they do it? Like with performance, right?
Yeah. And one of the things I really like about this motor is the crossover and all that stuff. So it also wakes up when you want to drive it a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You can go in this lane. Careful. Then we'll go like 2 more lights and then do a U-turn. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. Like to be able to experience a car like this, like I said, a lot of normies out there. It scares me. That shifter, I can see that is buttery. It's really direct. It's short. It's good.
Yep.
Is it a major upgrade from the OEM?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's precise. You know, the clutch is actually it's a action clutch.
Oh, okay. So you swapped that one out.
I did swap that out. That's unsprung, so it chatters. So when you do make the shift, it like engages right away.
Gotcha.
Which kind of feels good.
Or if not, make a left and then we can do U-turn in the street.
Okay. Yeah, which is great. I mean, it gets it takes a while to get used to, but it feels like OEM is still, you know.
How do we come up about this car? Where did you find it?
So my buddy Teddy had this car prior to me. He had a yellow Type R. Prior to this car, it got stolen, unfortunately, like at CSUN. It had all these like spoon parts on it.
Oh.
He came out of his class and car was gone. So he still had the itch for a Type R, and he bought this car. And at that time, he had this car in the garage, and he was afraid to drive it as well. And so, but for me, I wanted a Type R just because I didn't want to deal with all the smog stuff. I wanted to have a car that had like a B18 C5 Type R motor. Thought about putting a Type R motor into EG, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the smog stuff. I'm just gonna buy myself a Type R. And at that time, it was accessible for everybody, right? Because it was like you know, it's available. It's like this is like 2000. So ended up buying this car, bought it for like 15,500.
Which now sounds like a bargain.
yeah. Sounds like a bargain now, right? At that
back
time,
then I'm sure somebody was like, bro, why are you paying so much? You know, you can get another car for $8,000.
Correct. Yep. And you know, for me, it's like Type R. It's got everything that I really need. All I needed to do was really maybe hone the suspension a little bit. And so, first thing I obviously bought was like the Tane Flex coilovers that they had at that time. I think it was like the Flex Z coilovers. So I bought that and lowered it on the stock wheels. That's it. I was like rocking that for quite a while.
And that's all it needs.
Yeah, that's all it needs.
It's a great looking car, yeah.
And I think the first set of wheels that I had on this car was like Spoon 15-inch wheels.
Okay.
Too small for me at that time for this car, and so I ended up getting like some red gabs. I had like, it was like brand new in the box.
You never got the itch to the whole Fast and Furious to do like a whole body kit and things like that?
No, you know, honestly, like the closest I got into was like maybe putting a JDM front end on this car. I'm kind of happy I never did, to be honest. Part of me was like, I wanted to keep this because eventually I knew it was probably going to be a collector car, so I wanted to keep everything original.
I think you did the right choice. Yep.
You know, I remember calling like Steve from HMO back in the day and be like, hey, do you have like a JDM front end that has like a pretty good paint on it? And I actually went to HMO and looked at the front end, and I kind of put it against the car. Little did I know that at that time, like when the championship white in Japan is a little bit different of a shade here in US, so it wasn't like a complete like, oh, you know, that means I had to get a paint job, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. So
ended up not doing it. Shade is what saved. Okay.
Yeah.
So different. Spend more on paint.
I didn't want to spend more on like I didn't want to. This is all original paint, right? Like
original paint.
Original paint.
I mean, it has
so it's like
7,000 miles, man.
Yeah. So I didn't want to mess with the original stuff. I mean, I got my timing belt done. I like water pump maybe like 3-4 years ago.
Okay.
And I kept all the original parts. I still have the original suspension, original seats. The original seats are actually on my EG, so
which is good.
Yeah, I keep all the original parts. So if I ever sell this car, I'll have like a box of like original parts for this car, including the original wheels. You know.
It sounds like you won't. You know, it's a keeper, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So after all these years you haven't sold, we're glad, and now it's back out.
Yep.
And you said it's original everything. Have you done like a paint correction or?
It just recently actually got a paint correction right before JCCS in last year. So this guy Mike did it for me at Auto Ingenious Solutions. So
God, the paint just looks so creamy. It looks so nice, man.
Thanks.
Man. Now I would think it's so difficult to just try to keep the car stock. I mean, it's lower on wheels and things like that, but like the temptation to like just do a whole bunch of stuff, I'm sure is there.
Yeah, it's always been. Been. But like, you know, honestly, when you drive a car like this, when you get in, it's like it's solid. Like, you know, I've had the EG with like Type R suspension, drove one of those, but like, I don't know, just the way that the Honda engineers kind of did this car, it's like meticulous, you know. So then it's kind of like one of those things. Do I need to touch it?
No.
You know,
no, but we still do.
Yeah, no, but we still do. You know what I mean? Like it's got all Mugen stuff as far as when it comes to the motor stuff. So,
well, you know what? I'm glad that you've been keeping the OEM stuff, because then you can just, you know.
Oh yeah,
it's good to have it.
I could switch this back to complete stock if I wanted to, and you know, sell it that way if I wanted to. You know?
Gotcha. All right, well, let's start talking about the car itself. We haven't done anything to the exterior aside from, I think you deleted the wiper.
Wiper? Yeah, took out the delete the wiper. That's about it.
Of course, if we didn't have it, we would want the wiper, but since we have it, you want to take it off. Go figure. We just want the opposite. Everything is OEM, side skirts, front lip.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Man, I mean, these cars don't need much. Let's see.
Maybe just the JDM window visors. That's about it, really.
They don't need much. It's a great looking car. Just the shape of it is nice. The proportions are perfect. So, okay.
Yeah.
And suspension, what have we done to it?
Tain Flex Z coilovers,
Okay.
you know, and it has the EDFC, which I could adjust the dampening. Has camber kits, Skunk 2 camber kits. And then as far as like the strut tower bars, I have Mugen strut tower bars front and rear.
Okay. Now this one I see 5-lug. That's originally 5-lug? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Such a nice. What about wheels and tires? What do you got going on?
16 by 7.5 Mugen MF10s, bronze ones. Bought these from King Motorsports. These were the ones that actually got re-released in like 2017, 16, I believe.
Got it. Okay.
I had the original bronze, the other ones, but I kind of wanted these. The 16 by 7.5 was a little bit more aggressive, so you could put more aggressive tires. But I just wanted to have that option, right?
Yeah.
I think the original like MF10s were only 16 by 7, so these were a little bit wider, which I feel like it sits better on the car. Yeah. During pandemic, I had these in the box in the storage at the house.
Yeah. I mean, the car is just subtle. It doesn't. There's no weird blips. There's nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's not. It's like that's like probably the most chatter you'd probably get on this car.
The clutch.
Yeah, the clutch.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, I go from like driving my CRX, which is like all stock, to like this car. I just appreciate it even more so, man. It's amazing, so. Type R right there.
Wow. That, I mean, look, as you were doing the pull, I'm thinking 1998.
Yes. Yeah.
To have that type of pull, that Vita crossover,
Yeah.
it's amazing. Like, it's amazing. Like, and this car just took it like nothing. It's just such a nice driver because it's in pristine condition.
Yeah.
Man, that's great.
It's not too bad, right? For like a 98. It's like, to be honest, like, I've been on like cars, like K-Series cars, EKs that have K-Series and, supercharged. I drove it and I can't drive it, man. So it's
Too much?
It's a lot of horsepower, keep on the ground.
Yeah.
So it's nice, it's fast. It's just, for me, it's not.
There's different purposes, yes.
Yeah.
And different driving styles.
You definitely need that on a track.
Yeah.
Straight
You can make
away.
a left on the light, sorry.
So.
Well, let's stick on that. So you'll make a left on the light, and then you'll make a left on the other light, and then that gets us back to where we're at. Let's stick on that topic though, because the idea that like you just constantly need more power, I think that's a fallacy. I don't think that's true. This, for what it is, I think is amazing that Honda offered this.
Absolutely.
The amount of power that this little motor makes, VTEC technology, and it gives you this sensation.
Yeah.
It's not gonna win records. That's not what it was meant to be, but they're reliable. And it pushes some power.
Yeah. I mean, it goes like 8,500, 8,300 red line.
Yeah, I mean, I just saw
crazy,
VTEC
right?
doesn't kick until way later. So like, you really need to rev it up. Like most, I guess the psychology of people is don't drive it like that.
Correct.
This is the opposite.
Yeah.
You drive it right now, it's gonna get you nice, point A to point B.
Yeah.
But if you want to get the experience of it, you gotta be in the high revving zone, and that's just amazing. But yeah, I think it's cool that you added Mugen stuff, and it's still subtle, but it does roll up when you push it. So
Yeah. You do get the power that you do want when you do need it. So it's like it's on demand, which is kind of nice to have, It's a nice option. That's a nice mural, by the way.
Yeah.
Kobe's my guy right there, man. It's everybody's guy in LA.
Some say he mirrored his game after me, but he's older than me, so I don't know how that happened. You can make a right on this one. The car is lower, but it's not
It's
Super
not, and the only reason why it's not slammed is because I like my car slammed, to be honest.
Lies.
Yeah,
this tells otherwise.
But
Lies.
this one I couldn't.
This is not. This is good. Not
I
good.
couldn't because the Mugen header sits really low, and I didn't want to scrape it and bend it. I just recently installed it because I had it in the box for
What is
about
that,
7 years.
What do you mean? What are you complaining about?
Yeah,
It just scrape everywhere.
Yes, I mean
That's
it's
the guy that has nothing nice.
it's one of those things where I want to keep it like premium, like condition, you know.
No, we understand. But you like your car slammed.
But I do love my car. This was slammed before.
Your car is an EG, right? You said.
Yeah, my other car is an EG, and that one's slow.
But not slam.
Yeah, not slammed.
Come on, man. You're getting old now, man. You gotta go slam. Gotta be uncomfortable like me on my commute to work. People look at you like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like, you think I'm a 16-year-old? Well, I'm not, but okay. Gotcha. I love it. Yeah. No, I think it's called maturing. You know, you gotta have nice cars and preserve them. Beautiful. Okay. So I'm assuming no major plans for the outside. I mean, it's done. It's
nothing, but I think the only thing that I'm thinking about maybe getting is like the Mugen Gen 1 wing, but like with these prices these days, it's kind of hard to find, like, and also the rarity of the part. It's probably like that's probably might be the next and the only thing that I might end up doing on this car.
But you would have to pick up another trunk?
No, it'll just bolt on just directly.
It will bolt up directly? You don't have to.
So I'll have to just remove my stock wing and then bolt the Mugen wing on.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Then go source that wing, because that would make the car look a little different too.
Yes.
But this looks good. I mean, I can't fight it. Can't go wrong with it.
It's kind of like the Type R stock wing, but it's just got this little slit on the back, and then it kind of goes down a little bit deeper on the trunk. So it's a little nice like touch to it, you know. And I think that's probably the only thing I end up doing.
Perfect. Yeah, I agree.
So you know, like any project or any car, you're never really completely done with it.
Never.
It's just one of those things where you just kind of add a little bit more flavor to it, and what do you feel like that year, right? So
a lot of people are nodding right now. Yeah, yeah, we know. All right, let's talk about the interior. Mind opening up the door for us,
sure,
please, Marlo? Let's check it out. Wow, I mean, pristine. I mean, I'm weird. I always go to the door cards. Why?
Yeah.
I like seeing nice, clean door cards. Oh, that's so nice. Okay. Now we're back to this. What do we got going on?
So it's got the Mugen steering wheel. It's on a Lanza horn button, which was kind of period correct for this car. I've had that horn button for
That's
like
trippy.
Yeah,
that's cool,
for a long time. Wow. During the 90s, to be honest. And you know, recently Scott, president of King Motorsports, I had a chance to have him sign the steering wheel, so he signed it.
Awesome.
At the Doghouse Mugen event that they had. Okay. So that was kind of nice to have.
Yeah. All right.
It's a nice little touch.
That's cool. Yeah, for sure. Nice steering wheel too. I think the sizing is nice on it. Perfect. Okay.
It's on like this Auto Technique quick release. At that time when I bought this car, I was obviously scared of theft, right? And so there was this one company in Canada that actually made these like quick release, and you know, there was no Energy back in the day. I think the only one that was out was maybe Sparco had a quick release, or Rap Fix.
Okay.
That was like, you know, the original ones back in the day. But you know, what made this kind of unique was like I couldn't put another quick release setup.
Oh, okay.
You know, kind of like the Energies are kind of like, you know, you could, if you have a quick release setup, you could just pop in your own steering wheel. On this one, it's more unique. So, and so I ended up going with this style because I didn't want anybody to just pop in another steering wheel and take my car.
So it was very limited to, gotcha. And it gives you a nice little spacing, so that's cool. Very nice. And it doesn't look like it's aftermarket. It looks OEM because it just flows with the dash and everything. So
yep.
Very cool. And I thought these were original seats, but they're not, you said?
No, not this one. Okay. So these are like JDM seats. My original seats are actually on my EG.
Okay.
So.
And when did you decide to pick these ones up?
I want to say 15 years ago.
Yeah. In such a great condition, man. Yeah. This car does not get driven.
Yeah.
Oh man, everything. The back seats are perfect. This car is just super, super clean. Shifting mechanism, OEM.
So it has the Skunk 2 short shift.
Okay.
It's got obviously the Mugen shift knob on there. And then I did change like the shift boot to like the red stitching.
Okay.
So on the 98s, it never came with red stitching. Came with like just regular black stitching.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
I just kind of wanted to keep the whole theme going throughout the whole car, you know?
For sure. And OEM mats?
OEM mats, and I actually have the OEM trunk mat. When I bought this car, I had all that stuff. It's
cool.
like the highly coveted like trunk mat that people are like.
Do you mind showing us?
Yeah, sure.
Because we don't believe them if we don't show them. That's the reason we go on shotgun drives, because people don't believe it's manual, you know?
That's right.
The highly coveted. People are gonna get excited more about this than actual.
Probably.
Oh shoot! You know what? I think this is the first time I've seen this.
Oh really?
Yes.
Dude, I think like people say they go for like close to like $5,000, which I would never pay. I would never pay that much for this thing.
Cloth. I'm just weird like that, man. I love cloth. I don't know why.
Sorry,
this
man,
is
out of your
cool.
way, man.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen this. Then you have the strut bar, and then what is this?
So that comes stock on the Type Rs.
Really? Oh shoot. Okay, we're learning a lot today. See, because I've never come across as such a like OEM.
OEM, like no, nobody's like really touched it.
Things off and put things on.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, thank you for sharing that. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
That thing is in pristine condition. Obviously, you still cover it. Like
I do, yeah.
Okay, that probably is the most rare thing in your car.
Probably.
Don't forget your coffee if you still have some.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Wow, that's pretty cool. Man, that's cool. I like that a lot. Well, all these racing stuff. I mean, it was just a Econo box. Let's check out the power plant. Let's see what we've done with it.
Sure.
Kind of unique that you said, I'm going to keep everything OEM down to the rear mat, but then you decided to go with the K24.
No, it's a regular Type R motor.
Oh, the K20 from the EP3.
No.
Oh my goodness, bro. This is. So when I came across your car, I looked at this setup right here, and I was like, well, I've seen a couple Integras with similar setups. And then it was like, I don't recognize that username, right? And then somehow I got in contact with you, and you're like, yeah, let's shoot it. I was like,
yeah.
It goes to show you, like, there's so many hidden gems and still in Southern California that people are not here for clout. You guys are not posting just to be famous.
Absolutely.
But you guys are here. I love it. What are we starting at?
It's just a stock motor, B18C5. Obviously, it's got the Mugen like headers. It's got the Mugen exhaust all the way through. The Mugen valve cover. Really, the Mugen intake. I mean, as far as like those are like really the power stuff that's on this car.
Tell me about the valve cover, because I know that's a talking piece. How did you come across it?
Actually, my buddy Gio actually has this, and ended up just buying it from him. Okay. So
cool. That was a short story.
Yeah. No, it's just one of those things where it's just.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's. Oh, and how about this? The box. Where'd you find that?
So bought that from King Motorsports.
Okay.
Bought the headers from King Motorsports. Pretty much, I mean, everything like down to like the radiator cap. This was actually the Gen 1 Mugen oil cap was actually given to me by Scott.
That's cool.
So he gifted it to me, so which is kind of nice.
And you say King Motorsport is located where?
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay.
They're like the sole distributor for Mugen parts here in the U.S.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yep.
Okay. So good resource to go and get me.
Yeah. No, it definitely is.
I was wondering, like, how come they have all these parts, man? Got it.
I've just been like a long time customer of them. So like all the builds that I've kind of had, I've always kind of wanted to buy it authentic, and the only way that I know it's for sure going to be authentic is to buy it from the only distributor in the United States, which was King at that time, and still is.
Makes sense.
So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, obviously, 67K miles. The car is completely, pretty much stock. Probably you've only done like 2 oil changes. I mean,
no, I do get oil changes on a yearly 6 months.
No.
Yeah. Actually, when I take it to the Acura dealership, when they do change the oil, they're just like dude, you only put like 100 miles since we've done it.
Why are you here?
Yeah, you only put 100 miles since the last oil change. And I'm like, dude, it needs an oil change, man. So, yeah.
I was bored. I needed to drive the car.
Yeah.
Could spend an hour.
Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they tell me, it's like, dude, you never drove the car. I was like, yeah, I mean, but it still needs an oil change. It's been like 4 months, 5 months. So.
Now, this car has never been put apart, right?
No.
So, I mean, what I'm staring here is it's just never been taken apart. Like, I'm literally staring at a practically brand new car. Maybe you've upgraded the motor mounts?
Yes,
okay,
I did.
Yeah. But that's about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, because it's been like, 20-something years. You have to kind of update it, make sure it's like still good.
Did you update all the bushings from the suspension? Or not?
No, not yet.
Doesn't need it? Okay,
no,
cool.
it doesn't really need it.
Got it. It's a brand new car, brand new motor. Oh, well, what a lot of us would love to be able to come across something like this. Gotcha. I guess future plans for it, if any?
Just keep it as clean as I can, to be honest. I mean, I am getting like these like EDFC like extension motor kit that they have, because like right now when I put the Mugen bar on, I couldn't put the EDFC motor on top of it because this is just too low. So I have this like extension kit that's coming in from Japan, from Tane,
cool.
And so I'm gonna install it after that. But other than that, to be honest, it's not much. Yeah, I don't really need to do. Yeah. I don't feel like I need to go any more horsepower than what it should be. You know, I drive this thing to Cars and Coffee. How fast do I need to go to
really
get there?
Fast. You know? It has an R on the side, so you kind of have to live up to the name, bro. You can't be like doing, speed limit. That's cool. No, I get you.
It's like a time capsule for everybody to kind of see how it was we could do back in the day,
But even better, because now, there's options now, right? You can go K, you can go
absolutely
different motors, but to see something, again, I told you, it's so difficult to keep something like this stock, because you get in the face of like, oh, I want more power, so then you swap it out and never goes back in. And a lot of people have done that, the J front end. Nothing wrong with people doing it, but now some of them are like, I should have kept it, the bug eye, the USDM. Could have, should have, would have, but this is stock. I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Well, honestly, my first upgrade that I ever got on this car when I bought it was I bought AC from the dealership. So when this car came, when I bought it, it didn't have AC because Type R's were optional with AC, without AC, right? You had to buy it either with AC or not. So when this was bought by the original owner, they opted for no AC,
which was probably like $800, no?
At that time when I bought it from the dealership was I think it was like $900 kit.
I remember somebody was telling me they broke it down on how much it was, but it adds up.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, why would I want AC? The whole point is the Type R is light.
Correct.
And you can save $800. And
yeah,
it's funny. You're like, nah, put that
it's
back in.
SoCal, I'm gonna drive that. Man, it's hot. I was like, man, I want AC, so
I love it, man.
So it's got it done at the dealership. They installed it, the whole kit. Lucky enough, that was still available at that time in 2000, right? So
2000, it's a brand new car,
Pretty much, yeah.
We're discussing like a FL5 right now, the new Type R. That's what we're discussing. Somebody buying an FL5, and 27 years from now, we're interviewing him on this FL5 and thinking it just is crazy. This is cool though. I love, and that valve cover. I have a story idea. We're so humble that we get to feature this, because the goal is that in 20 years this video is still up and somebody just looks back at this and says, damn.
Absolutely.
And hopefully the car is still around 20 years from now, and then
absolutely, hopefully
car and it looks like this. Nothing wrong with that,
I mean, at a daily I get hit up for this car to sell it, and I obviously right now I don't have the itch to sell it, and I don't have any plans to sell it, but you just never know. Sometimes health wise get old and things change and financial situations change, but the moment I'm happy to own this thing and hopefully for the next 20-25 years, if I'm still around. So
hell yeah, you're gonna be around, bro. You're gonna be around, of course. That's cool. Yeah. And
share it with people that go to Cars and Coffee and car meets. Really, that's the whole goal about this car.
Yeah, I mean, I would get mad at you if you had this car at the track. I'll be like, what are you doing? Put it back,
Yeah, which, some people do it, which is great, honestly, because it's like a really beautiful car to drive. Like, it's nice to drive. It's like a go-kart, the car's on rails.
Not this one though. This one's too clean. Gotcha. Well, as we finish it up, any shout outs?
Just King Motorsports, really. Oberk Car Care. They help me keep this car clean. All their products, and also Street Saga.
Okay.
So, and the guys in the Doghouse, man, love those guys, and the meat, obviously.
Cool peeps for sure. The guys at the Doghouse,
Hung,
Danny,
and
cool
Brandon at the meet. It's like they help me share this car to the rest of you guys, the car community, and then to you too as well, for shooting this car and sharing it with other people that can't be here in California and just be online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's a lot of them. They're gonna appreciate it. Shout out to those people in all parts of the U.S. specifically, because I get a lot of DMs like from people from North Carolina, Dakota, places like that where they're like, man, like I wish we had something like that here, or right now if it's cold, those cars don't come out. Salt and just safety issues. So I appreciate everybody who watches, and thank you once again, Marlo, seriously, for just bringing this time capsule. I didn't realize it was that low mileage until we're drinking coffee.
Oh,
now I'm a little more paranoid, not gonna lie, so I'm like, I get back home fast before the LA traffic starts. So, a little bit of panic, not gonna lie, but
I drive really slow on the freeway, so
I'm not worried about you, bro. I'm worried about the normies out there. They're rushing to work today. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and let's go for a ride, and man, let's enjoy this beautiful ITR.
Yeah,
thank you.
Let's do it.